Welcome. You are listening to The Travel Winds, hosted by Pete Kotzbach. This is a weekly interview show about people who travel for work and all the ups and downs that go along with it. Each episode includes a variety of discussions with athletes, business people, musicians, influencers, entertainers, and even regular folks from around the world. Thanks for listening. Here we go.
Welcome to the show. Still in a little bit of a shock. I have the venerable Kurt Angle as a guest today. How are you today, Kurt?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
And Olympic champion, pro wrestling champion, father, husband, a lot of good things going on right now for you.
Yeah, I'm retired from wrestling, but you know, the fatherhood thing is taking over, and the kids are my first priority now. I used to be first priority myself, but now I do everything for the kids now.
Yeah, I'm on the other end of it now. So both my daughters have moved out, so I'm an empty nester.
Oh,
so I'm good to go.
You're probably missing them a little bit, huh?
My youngest is just told she's pregnant, so I'm going to be a grandfather. And
congratulations, man! That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, between the traveling of amateur wrestling and then pro wrestling and then everything you're doing now, you're still traveling quite a bit. How much do you think you travel now as a retired wrestler?
Oh, probably once a week. I go to a different city every week. I do autograph signings, appearances, speeches. So I stay relatively busy, not as busy as I was and when I was wrestling professionally and also amateur wrestling. I actually went to 81 different countries in my career. So I've gone to just about everywhere. The only place I don't think I've been is China.
I was going to ask you, are there any countries you want to go to that you haven't?
You know what? I pretty much went everywhere I wanted to. I would like to go to China eventually, but my wife has never been to Italy, and she's Italian, half Spanish. And so I promised her I would take her on a second honeymoon to Rome, Italy.
Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah. Hey, we're retired. You know, I don't have a lot going on right now, so I could do it.
How are the knees?
The knees are good. I've been recovering from surgery for 3.5 months. I'm almost fully recovered, which is very quick for double knee replacements. But I've been working pretty hard at them. And the doctor said the more active I am, the quicker I will heal.
Yeah, my dad went through a knee replacement, and so I helped him get back after that. And I was surprised. They said the same thing, like, get on it. Like,
yeah. You know what? I had double knees, so it was twice as hard. And but the next day I was walking. I wasn't even using a walker. Yeah. I was in pain. It hurt, but my doctor said the quicker you get up and walking, the better. So that's what I did.
I was shocked. I was like, I literally like, let me double check with the doctor. I want to make sure he told you that. You know, my dad was like, my dad's from Ohio, so I got this. Don't worry about
it. Right. He can do it himself.
Yeah. And I'm like, let me just double check. And doc's like, no, get him up, get him going.
That's great.
So with the injuries you've had, you know, obviously I don't think that's going to affect any of your traveling at this point. I mean,
no, it doesn't. I didn't do anything for the first 2 weeks because I knew I'd be really laid up pretty much. I know I was able to walk around my house, but I didn't do any activities outside the house for the first 2 weeks. I mean, those are the most crucial 2 weeks, and that's when you have to make sure your knees mend and heal properly.
Well, I mean, so for my listeners that don't know Kurt Angle's story, kind of broke your own neck. You know, in 95 or 96?
96, right before the Olympics.
Yeah. And then you've had other back injuries with the pro wrestling.
Yeah, I broke my neck 4 more times.
Say it so casually.
I had 6 knee surgeries, shoulder surgery. My lower back is shot. I'm going to have surgery on that as well. So, being retired, my body's really banged up, and I kind of regret part of my career that I did. I might have went a little too hard, a little too much, and I'm paying the price right now.
I saw an interview where you talked about taking too many bumps. In wrestling, in pro wrestling, and then I went to my first pro wrestling match 3 weeks ago with Mickey in Dallas, Mickey James, and I played football. I amateur wrestled for 5 years, and
Right.
Dude, I couldn't believe how athletic and how much, maybe that's a pounding. Like I wouldn't want to do that.
As an amateur wrestler, I always shied away from pro wrestling.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I was told not to.
Yep.
I was told they were fake. I was real, which is somewhat the truth. But when they get in there and they do what they do, the athleticism and the body abuse that you take, just running in that ring, the plywood bounces, so your knees are like shock absorbers, and your knees ended up getting injured and in a lot of pain. And I ended up having double knee replacements because of pro wrestling.
Yep.
But not only that, but the bumps are brutal on your back and your neck. It's
yeah.
really tough. Yeah, you don't. Guys tend to bump pretty much too much. Some of these guys will bump 20, 25 times a match, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But I tried to limit mine at the end of my career to 10 per match.
That's like saying I just hit me. I can't believe how hard it is. And then even like the body slaps when you're there in person.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound fake.
No, it's not. The chops to the chest are brutal, man. But the ring is so hard.
Yeah.
When you hit it the first time I tried out for the WWE, and I took my first bump, I got up and I said, I'm not doing this. I quit. And my manager talked me into coming back and finishing the rest of the practice. I just thought it was plain stupid. It was like body abuse. So, but once I got used to it and started bumping more and more, my body started getting used to the bumps, and then you kind of get numb to it eventually. But you don't have any idea of the damage it does to your body because you're not feeling it anymore because you're so used to bumping. But every bump you take does more damage to your body. Yeah.
But I was going to say, and I went backstage. Mickey took me backstage, and everyone was friendly and all that, and but to go to the next week, or how often were you wrestling in matches?
Oh gosh, 5 days a week.
I mean, that's insane.
WWE, TNA. I was in Impact Wrestling, where Mickey is, right?
Yeah.
I was doing about 4 days a week, so you're pretty active. In WWE, we were wrestling between 250 and 300 days a year. So you live on the road basically. You're only home for a day and a half every week.
And I was going to say, obviously not great for family life.
No, not at all. Yeah.
The work-life balance in wrestlers is not great.
Know what? When you're traveling, your family's on the road. They're the ones you're closest to because you're around them the most. You're around them more than your wife and kids, and you kind of bond a closer relationship with them. Unfortunately, because you're around them more than you are your family. But for me, what I would do is I would take my kids and my wife with 1 week a month to travel with me on the road.
Yeah.
Try to keep it a little better, more. Try to keep my family closer.
Yeah, that's most of the travelers I talk to. I do that I did that when my daughters were in high school and summer breaks. They'd go out on the road with me and they'd see what Dad did. So they knew it wasn't all.
That's cool. You're educating them.
Yeah.
What you're doing, how hard you're working. You're sending a good message to them by showing them what you do for a living.
Well, it worked, and it worked out great because whenever I went out on the road with the girls, I always got good orders because my customers were like, "Hey," they were trying to make me look good in front of my kids. So it worked out. It was a double whammy. So,
yes, sir. You're right.
How many children do you have now?
I have 6.
6, right?
I have 2 to a former marriage, and I have 4 to my wife now. And they're all between the ages of 5 and 19. So they vary, 15 years apart. My youngest to my oldest. So there are a lot of them in there, though.
You're a brave man.
Oh man, I didn't plan on having 6 kids, but my parents did, and I did as well.
That seems to be that's how it works out. Even though you try not to, just all of a sudden you just keep doing it.
If you're from a big family, you're most likely going to have a big family.
Exactly. Yeah. And there are pluses and minuses, right? I mean, how many birthdays and things did you miss being on the road?
All of them.
Yeah.
Very rarely was I ever home for a birthday.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't have the time. I had to be on the road every Sunday. I would travel on the road, and I wouldn't get back till Friday, and I would spend Saturday with the family. That was it.
Yeah. When I'm on the road, like I always tell my wife, give me one night back at home. Like, I get home, she's like, hey, let's go out. And I'm like, I was just on the road for 5
Yeah,
days, 6
that's the
days.
last thing you want to do. That's all you're doing while you're on the road. Is
I want a
eating at
home cooked meal
restaurants.
in my own bed. She was like, hey, let's go to San Diego. And I'm like, no.
You already been there.
Yeah. The hotel's going to feel exactly the same that I've just spent 5 days in,
Yes, sir.
But-
You're absolutely right.
So I always tell
But
her.
you know what? I do that with my wife. Every about once a month, we go on a little rendezvous here in Pittsburgh. We go downtown, spend time at the Station Square. And we stay at a hotel to spend time alone.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, it's like what I do
night.
all week long. So, it is for her. It's really special. So I do it for her.
Well, I was, pre-COVID, I guess too, was because obviously my schedule drastically changed during COVID. But
right.
Once a week we try to do a date night. That was kind of our deal. If I'm home, we do a date night that way.
Well, that's awesome. You're a better man than me. My wife would be pissed off if she heard what you said right now. So keep it low.
I won't tell her. I had one guest, Don Wildman. He's a TV host, and he would travel out 3-4 weeks at a time. He'd go overseas, Europe, and all that. He would write a love letter, like handwritten letter, and then the day he would leave, at the airport, he would mail it at the airport. So
that is awesome.
She would get it the next day and have to read it wasn't an email, wasn't a text, it was a handwritten letter, how much he loves her. He does it every trip.
Wow, that is a lot more personal. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I might actually start doing that.
It's a good one. I tried it a few times. It works.
It does. Good.
It keeps the wife happy, knowing I don't know. It's a good
happy wife, happy life.
Man, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. What do you find the balance now? You're a little bit younger than me, but I mean, I wish I had the wisdom 20 years ago that I have now, as far as being able to balance more, I guess.
Well, it's a lot easier for me to balance stuff now. I mean, what I do, my first priority every day is to get the kids ready for school and, get them ready. Then I go to the gym and I work out. I have a supplement company that I run.
Oh, cool.
Head there for an hour or so. Then I have a podcast that I do every week, and I do that every Friday. I've been doing reads for movies. I've been taking acting classes and
nice.
Further myself into the movie career. I've done about 15, not a lot for me, but I'm trying to stay active as much as I can.
Well, so what's the supplement company name?
Physically Fit Nutrition. We have a product called Chicken Snacks. And Snack Smart Crispy Protein Bites. They're awesome. They taste incredible. High protein, low carbohydrate, low fat. We have 11 flavors. They're incredible. I mean, we have a plant protein and we have a chicken protein. And we're doing pretty well with this business right now. People are buying them up pretty good. So I'm really happy with the progress we made.
The reason I was asking you, as a business, like, I sit in the car, I'm in Los Angeles area, but I always tell people I drive for a living and do meetings in between. It's like,
yeah, you're in the car more than you are in the meetings.
Absolutely. So snacks like that are pretty good instead of eating the Doritos and that type of thing.
Yeah. These things are incredible too. They taste like, we have a cheese pizza flavor that tastes exactly like Doritos, and it's awesome. So we have a lot of different flavors. What's it called? Spicy barbecue and we have the barbecue. I'm sorry, the buffalo wing, blue cheese. We have sriracha. We have cinnamon swirl, which tastes like cinnamon toast crunch. Really good stuff. We have great flavors.
Well, is that at stores or is it online only? Or
we are in stores. We're in all of the Wegman stores. We're in Giant Eagle stores. We're going into Vitamin Shop and GNC very soon.
Okay.
We are online on Amazon, and we also have our website, physicallyfit.com.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely try some of those out.
They're good. You're gonna love them.
I'm always looking for good snacks on the road. Always.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Try to stay healthy, man, as much as you can.
I was going to ask you. You literally were at the peak of level performance, right? And so, but you're in hotels, and how did you stay healthy. And I mean,
it's not easy. It's
yeah.
not easy. The food that you get on the road, it's a lot more difficult. You have to really look around and choose. What I would do is go to places where they have Asian bowls, or places like Oriza. I don't know if you ever heard of Oriza, or Chipotle.
Yeah.
That's a good one, a good example. I would get just the chicken or the beef without the rice, no carbohydrates, a little bit of vegetables on it, and just eat that. I mean, there are ways to get around the bad food on the road, the fast food restaurants, and there are some fast food restaurants that are actually pretty good. I mean, I could go to Wendy's and get 2 grilled chicken breast sandwiches, and what I'll do is I'll take one of the grilled chicken breasts and put it in between the other, and make a sandwich, just so I don't have twice as many carbs, and I'll eat the whole sandwich. That's a pretty healthy meal to start out. That's 500 calories, probably 60 grams of protein, and probably 20 or 40 grams of carbs. But you can find a way. It's not impossible.
Yeah, you just have to want to do it.
Yeah.
So when you go to Wendy's, you don't get the curly fries with the strawberry shake.
No, never, unless it's on my cheat day.
And then you're like,
I'll have a cheat meal. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you sharing your nutritional facts with your kids? Because I wish I knew more back then when my kids were small.
Yeah, I do. And we try to keep them healthy. We try to get them healthy snacks. We really look around and try to buy the proper things that are better suited for kids, for healthier kids.
Yeah.
And when we cook dinner, they pretty much have what I have. They'll have the steamed rice, and they'll have chicken. They'll have a little barbecue sauce on the side. But my kids eat fairly healthy. I'm really proud of that.
Yeah.
And it stems from me.
I was going to say, I don't know. I know the answer to this question, but what was it like growing up for you? I mean, how well did you eat? Right.
Well, you know what? With my family back then, nobody dieted. We ate whatever my mother made for us. We ate
dinner.
But when my brothers got into high school, they were a couple of years older than me. They started getting into bodybuilding, and what happened was they didn't want to eat my mom's food anymore. Her home cooked meals. They wanted to eat the chicken breast and the baked potato, plain, nothing on it. So my mom said, "You know what? I'm done cooking for you. You guys cook for yourselves." We were on our own from there on in. So in high school, we started cooking our own stuff because we didn't want to eat my mom's home cooked meals.
Yeah, it was.
So she was like, "You know what? Screw you. I'm not cooking."
Man, that would have been my mom's answer too.
Yeah, my mom was she was a trooper, man. She was the helm of the family.
Yeah.
She's the one that made all the decisions. She's the one that wore the pants in the family, more than my dad. And that's probably why I respect my mom a little bit more than my father.
Yeah, that's interesting. Both my parents have passed, and they're both
Mine too.
They're both from Cleveland, Ohio. Born and raised. All their parents were both from Cleveland, so it's kind of that real Midwest.
Yeah.
Definitely not wealthy family, and my mom's one of 13, I think.
My dad was one of 12. That's crazy.
And so, and then my mom's right in the middle, and then my dad was one of 3. But just families, right? I mean, I grew up saying, "What's for dinner?" My dad would say, "Whatever your mom's making." I was like, okay.
My dad said too. My dad said that too until my mom stopped cooking for us.
Yeah.
She only cooked for my dad after that. Yeah.
How important were the lessons that your parents taught you when you were out on the road? Like for me, I don't know. When I was growing up, we didn't travel anywhere. My parents didn't have the money for it.
We didn't either. Yeah. We didn't have money either.
You literally got to see the entire world since then. I mean,
I was very fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, fortunate, hard work.
My family, what we talked about at the dinner table, because my family was into sports. That's all we talked about.
Me too.
My father, my mother felt that it built work ethic and it built confidence, and that was the right thing that would teach you real life lessons.
Yeah.
So we were really into sports. That's all we talked about at the dinner table, and my mother and father were very stern about. They weren't hard on us, like you got to do good. They just said, as long as you give your best, we're going to be proud of you, whether you win or lose. So
Yeah.
there was no pressure on to be a winner. You just had to make sure you gave your best. And my dad pretty much knew when I did. Whenever I did something half-assed, he'd say, "Hey, I'm going to kick you in the butt next time you do that. You know, do it to the best of your ability." And that's all he asked.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. My dad's saying, you'll probably relate to this with your catch line, but literally, if I had a match or a football game, he knew I was ready. You know, I was a mental thinker, and I always thought so he would just, to break the ice, he'd always come to me, "Hey, don't suck tonight." And I'd be like, "What? Oh, okay. Yeah." Which
you trying to lighten up the mood.
Yeah. Like, "Hey, you've done the prep, you're ready. Don't worry about it. Just go out, don't suck."
Well, I was the chosen one in my family, so I didn't have any of that. Like, whenever I'd be warming up for a match, my brothers would look at me and see if I was in the right frame of mind, and they could tell right away if I was confident or not confident.
Yeah.
And they come down and say, "Listen, get your ass in gear. I know what you're thinking. You think you're going to lose. Turn it around. You're going to win tonight." And so they used to pump me up. They even did it up until the Olympics, the Olympic Games. Wow. They, you know, backstage, it was impossible to get back there. They found a way backstage where everybody was warming up. And, you know, it was crazy. My brothers were always there for me, rooting me on.
That's awesome, though. I mean, to have that, you know, because there's not too many guests I'm ever going to talk to where I could say, "You suck," and it's a compliment, you know?
That's right. Yeah. The fans, they chant "you suck" to me, and it's supposed to be a term of endearment.
Exactly. And you're like, "Hey,
what the hell? How does that work?"
I don't want that.
Yeah.
You get what you get.
I learned to like it, though, eventually.
Yeah. The wrestling fans are a unique crowd. Yes, I found that out after I interviewed Nikki and then or Mickey and then her husband Nick.
Yeah.
They're all in.
Oh, they're very loyal fans. They're the best fans in the world.
I agree.
I mean, they'll follow you to the day you die. Yeah. Even when you're done wrestling, you're still a star to them.
Yeah.
That's what I love so much about the wrestling fans.
Even amateur wrestling. I mean, you know, if you get into like Pennsylvania's huge right now.
Oh, well, you know what? Amateur wrestling, they're all addicts.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all addicted to that sport. It's a small community, not too small. It's actually pretty big. But, I mean, everybody in there is really into amateur wrestling. That's all they do. That's all they talk about. It's all they think of.
Yeah.
It's all they watch. And I do respect them, too. They're incredible fans, very loyal.
Because growing up, like I said, I'm just a year or 2 years older than you, but Iowa was like the go-to place. Iowa.
Yeah. When I was young, Dan Gable was the man.
Yeah. And then now Penn State's kind of taken over, which is nice.
Yes, they have. And you know what? That's because, unfortunately, I don't want to say this because Pennsylvania is the best wrestling state in the United States.
So, yeah.
But a guy from Iowa moved to Pennsylvania
and
is the head coach of Penn State. And they're saying that's the reason why Penn State's number one, because somebody came from Iowa to coach the team, which is Cale Sanderson.
Wow. Anywhere Cale went, it would be a good place. But
I think so, yeah.
But
he's a winner. He was undefeated in college. He won the Worlds, won the Olympics. Very special athlete, a one of a kind.
Of all the cities you travel, I'm just kind of thinking 81 countries, right? Mm-hmm. What's the most influential city or place you've been to?
You know what? I really love Russia. I went there about 4 times. Love being there. The people are great. I mean, you know, when you think of Russia, you think about communism and the people are evil and they're thinking the wrong things. No, they're human and they love other countries. They love talking to other people. I don't think their leader loves other people. I think their leader's freaking crazy. But the people are very humble, very nice, very cordial. You know, it's crazy. I think this is where Uber came up with the idea. When I'd be in Russia, I could flag down any car and they would stop and pick me up and take me wherever I wanted to go. It only cost me $1. And I'm telling you, you know, this was back in the 80s. And, you know, Uber comes around in, you know, in the 2010s.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, they had to get this idea from Russia.
They finally caught up.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine traveling now without a phone?
No, it'd be impossible. But back then, you know what?
You did it.
You were able to make it work.
Yeah.
You know, and if you wanted to contact home, you had to go back to the hotel, call long distance. It cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it'd be like $50 for one call. But, you know, that's the only way you could keep in touch. But, you know, I liked it better without phones. I really did, because I spent a lot more time focusing on what was around me rather than on my phone.
I do both things, right? I mean, it was nice. It's, as a traveler, I could FaceTime my daughters when they're in high school. And if I was gone for a week, you know, I could say, hey, what's going on? Blah, 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 you know, and like actually see them.
Right.
And, you know, so they couldn't BS me too much. You know, face to face is harder to BS. Yeah, Dad, I got that. You know,
right.
So I used it for that, but I agree with you. Like there's times when I get on the plane and I turn my phone off.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm all of a sudden I'm like, hey, this is kind of nice. You know, no phone.
Yeah, you can relax and kind of, you know, tone it down and not have to worry about what's on your phone and who you have to contact next. Yeah, I do that too. I turn my phone off right when I get on the plane.
I was going to say, one last question I really had for you is, how do you fill in your time? I mean, right? I mean, you got so many things going on
in a day. It's really hard. It's really hard trying to juggle everything, but I make it work. And if I'm not able to make it work, I'll make it up the next day. But you know, what I do every day is a lot of work, especially for being retired.
I love that you keep saying that.
Semi-retired. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm completely retired, but the one thing I love the most is doing stuff for my kids. I mean, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, I'm traveling, I'm driving them places, sports, therapy. My kids have learning disabilities, so I take them to therapy.
Sure.
You know, I have they have CCD and they have tutoring and they have piano lessons. It's like something is happening every hour of every day with my family. So I'm always on the
go. but like if you're on a plane and you have to turn your phone off, you know, for me, it's like, because sometimes I feel guilty. I see people on the plane, they're working on their spreadsheets and they're doing this, or, you know, sometimes when I'm like, I need to turn it off sometimes, but I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? I do the same thing. I relax on the plane. I don't worry about what I have to do on the phone or what I have to do when I get to the city. I just try to calm down and try to stay stress free while I'm on that flight. Yeah,
I agree. So I appreciate the time. What's the best way? How do you want people to follow up and see what you have going on?
Oh, check me out on Twitter, Real Kurt Angle, Instagram, The Real Kurt Angle. Go to my website, KurtAnglebrand.com. I'm sorry. I have merchandise on there. A lot of fans go on there, and I have cowboy hats. And believe it or not, I did a gimmick in WWE where I wore a tiny little cowboy hat, and it became really famous.
I saw it.
I sell those, and I sell milk cartons because I drank milk. And I have a lot of cool things on there.
That's awesome, man. I mean, that's how I got in touch with Mickey, because her country singing. And so she actually
she's a cowgirl. Yeah,
she was actually signing autographs at our booth at the Country Music Awards. So yeah,
right.
So
that's really cool. Mickey's a great girl.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the time, bud. I know you're going to get running. Thank you so much. It was great meeting.
Thank you, man. I had a lot of fun today. Good talking to you.
Appreciate it. Talk to you later.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.